Hello everyone and welcome back. I know that it's been a while, but as you can see in the background, we are in a new kitchen. We are in a new home, in a new city, starting things brand new and getting ready to put out more content for you. In today's video, as you can see, we have some vegetables, we have a can of beer, spices, chiles, and meat. We will be making barbacoa sinaloense. My mom is from Sinaloa and I'm from Sonora, but I've been in Phoenix, Arizona for the last 20 some years, and a lot of the recipes that we make is how my mom makes it, how she learned from my grandma. So it's very special to me to make these types of recipes at home, to share what types of food I grew up eating, and it's good food. Who does not like good food? Who does not like slow cooked good food? After gathering all of our ingredients, we are going to begin by rehydrating the chiles, as after removing as many seeds as you can and also removing the stem. You can let them boil in the water for approximately 10 minutes or until they are soft. While the chiles are going on the stove, you can use this time to blend all of the spices together, plus the garlic. Let me know in the comments down below if you and your family have a specific dish that you always share all together. Once the chile is done cooking, you can add it all to the blender or blend it into batches depending on the size of your blender. You can add a couple cups of the same water that you cooked your chiles in to help it blend more smoothly. It's these types of meals that make me really happy when I'm cooking, because I'm able to put a lot of effort in, and it's a lot of work, but it's definitely worth it. I was able to share it with, I don't know, maybe like 10, 15 other people. To begin, I am cutting the tomatoes. I cut them in half. There's no specific way that they need to be cut, as they will be dissolving inside of the water with the meat and all of the other vegetables, and it will very much complement the guajillo and pasilla sauce that we just previously made. After the tomatoes, I am cutting the poblano chiles. I remove the stem and also cut inside of the areas to remove the seeds. You can find this recipe along with the frijoles puercos and sopa fria on my website at www.heidijennifer.com. Make all three recipes together and you have a party. I'm cutting the onion very similarly to the tomatoes. I cut in half and into half rainbows. Now cutting the potatoes in half and then into about 5 or 6 chunks. You can cut them into different size. The bigger the potato is, or the bigger the chunk of potato that you cut, the longer that it would take to cook. The meat I am cutting into similar chunks as the pork and putting it aside. Into the large pot. The one that I'm using is about 16 quarts, I believe. I'm going to be using vegetable shortening, as I would prefer to use lard, but I did not have some at the moment. I would start from the bottom and just place it all over the bottom and the sides of the pot. Now inserting the meat inside of the pot along with some salt. you're thinking about making this recipe, I would love to know, and you can always tag me at _Heidi Jennifer on Instagram. After the meat is in, I am adding the vegetables. Like I said, there is no specific order. Now adding half of the olives and some of the juice. I added 1 tablespoon of oregano at the top and adding the remainder of the garlics. Using this large metal strainer, I'm adding the chiles to prevent the seeds to go inside of the pot. We want just the sauce to be absorbed by the vegetables and the meat. I will be using half of this can of beer, as this would also helps all of the sauces and the tomato with the vegetables come together and taste beautifully. Now with both of my hands, or one hand, I am mixing the pot around to make sure that the vegetables and the meat are well incorporated and they are evenly distributed. If you're enjoying the video so far, please give me a thumbs up. I'm adding salt once again and mixing it once again. I am now adding 2 large pieces of foil to prevent the steam from escaping the pot. After the 2 pieces of foil, I will add the lid once again. Turn on my stove to high and wait for it to start boiling. I will let this boil for about 10 to 15 minutes and let all of the deliciousness, the vegetables, the meat get to know each other. While I had waited for the food to cook by, I made a picadillo, as you can see on the left hand side. I let the meat and the vegetables cook for about 4 hours, but as I was checking it, I felt like I wanted the meat to be a little bit more tender, so I added 3 more hours for it to cook, so in a total of 7 hours. I'm just mixing it around so some of the bottom pieces can go at the top and the pieces that were at the top would be submerged inside of the broth and continue to cook well. Now I plated, and the day that I had made this, my family came over and we ate and it was delicious. My mom made some tortillas and it was amazing, so I did not have a chance to record, but this is the day after. As you can see, the meat looks tender, the potatoes are tender, and the broth, the juices of everything was just delicious.